I'm putting this at the beginning of my video. Some people haven't seen my old video, and instead of trying to find it in my playlist, I decided to go over it. This is when Obama stands up, I believe, in when he called Biden the vice president, because Obama's really running the show. When Obama returned to Kenya, this is in Daniel 11, says he returns to Kenya, reunites with his family, right here. Says, his family, right here, it talks about he reunites with his father's family. This is when it says in Daniel, it says the God of his fathers. Right here, it says he reunites with his father's family. Talks about in Daniel chapter 11, he doesn't worship the God of his fathers. And this is where Obama's from and his family members. Here's a video which I was talking about.
Near Ukraine border. These are the first pictures of the U.S. Patriot missile system set up at a Polish airbase just 50 miles from the Ukraine border. The surface-to-air defense system was installed around the perimeter of Rzeszów-Jastrzębie.
So I talked about this. This is on the 12th. They are sending all kinds of troops from NATO and the United States, the King of the South. The King of the South, this is in the Bible, and I will go over this. This is Daniel chapter 11. I'm going over it in better
International
detail.
Airport after a fleet of U.S. Air Force, USAF planes flew in from a base at Ramstein, Germany.
Germany.
It comes after the U.S. European Command, AFRICOM, said last Tuesday it would install the Patriot missile system.
Yukon. There's two. There's Yukon and AFRICOM. There's Yukon and AFRICOM. The United States is going to be going to Africa, and I show it right here. They just said it right there. Europe and Africa. Does not say the America. It does not say the Joint Chiefs of Staffs at the Pentagon. It says AFRICOM for a reason. This is where Obama is going to be headquarters out of. And he's going to rule, and I will show you this in this video. Here's a map right here of Africa. There's Kenya right there. There's a seaport right here. There's Kenya right there. I show in this video, AFRICOM, we are stationed all right in here. There's Ethiopia. Right here. It says, when he stands up, his kingdom shall be broken and shall be divided into the winds of heaven. This is a nuclear blast. Shall be divided towards the four winds of heaven. Four winds being held back, four winds of heaven. And his prosperity, nor according to his dominion which he ruled, for the kingdom shall be plucked up, even for others besides those. Talks about here in the next verse. So this is Babylon falling. It's a nuclear blast. It's broken to pieces, as it says right there. It shall be divided to the four winds of heaven. It shall be plucked up. This is a nuclear blast. But he's already got his military out of the United States. It says right here, the king of the south shall be strong, and one of his princes shall be strong above him, and his dominion, and it shall be great dominion, and in the end years shall be joined themselves together, the king of the south and the daughter of the king of the south shall to the king of the north and make an agreement. This right here is exactly what I showed you about Obama right here. The king of the south, his prince is Biden. And Kamala Harris could be the daughter, as they're showing you right here. This is the king of the south. His prince, he called Biden his vice president right here. Vice president, his prince. Just as we are going to be princes. Jesus is our king, and we are going to be his princes. So right here, it says, his prince, king of the south, shall be strong, and one of his princes shall be strong above him. It's exactly what's going on right now. Obama's calling the shot, but his prince is running the show right now, but he just stood up. Daniel 11, the king of the south shall come into his kingdom and shall return to his own land. His own land is Kenya, Africa, right here. This is where United Nations is, and I have it in the end of this video. Returns to his own land. Daniel 11:7. Out of a branch of her roots come one and stands up at his state, which shall come with an army, and shall enter into the fortress of the king of the north, and shall deal against them, and shall prevail. This is exactly what's going on right here. A branch of her roots. This is what they're sending there. A branch of their roots is sending them right here to Poland, and over there battling the king of the north. Battling the king of the north. It's exactly what's going on right here. A branch of her root shall come up against his estate, which is NATO, which is part of the United Nations, shall come up with an army and shall enter into the fortress of the king of the north, and shall deal against them and shall prevail. This is when the king of the south takes out 3 kings, but it's after Babylon falls. Babylon falls first, and then he takes remnant in pieces. Right here. Shall be broken into pieces. This is when Babylon's destroyed. That's what the whole game's all about. The king of the north shall return and set forth a multitude greater than the former, and shall certainly come after certain years with a great army and with much riches. He's with NATO and all the countries in Europe. It's going to be a great army, because it's not just America. It's Poland, the United Kingdom, everything. He's going to be greater than the former. Says right here, and the king shall do according to his will, and shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and speak marvelous things against God, and shall prosper till his imagination and accomplish, and that is determined shall be done. Does this sound familiar to you? This is in 1 Thessalonians. So the king of the south is the Antichrist, because it says right here, 1 Thessalonians, who opposes and exalts himself above all is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. It's exactly the same thing as it says in Daniel, as I showed you right here. And it talks about the temple. It's right here. It says, he shall do according to his will, and shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelously things against God of gods. This is God of gods. Shall prosper till the indignation has been accomplished, for that is determined shall be done. Down here it talks about the temple. Shall accomplish and increase and shall divide. So this is Antichrist, king of the south, just as I've been talking about, Obama. Right here, he shall have power over the treasures and gold of silver, right here, and precious thing of Egypt and Libya, and the Ethiopia shall be at his steps. This is a very important right here. Ethiopia shall be at his steps. There's Kenya. Ethiopia shall be at his steps. Can't get any clearer than that. Which one do I want to get rid of? This one right here. Branch of him is a state. Well, I'll go over this one more time. And then I will show you it says temple. Obama's from Kenya. It talks about the God of his fathers. He doesn't like women in Daniel 11, right here. It says right here, reunites with his father's family, which Daniel 11, it says he doesn't worship the God of his fathers. There is a video out there, and I had it in my last video. Obama's brother said that they were all converted to Muslims. Here it says, as I show, it says AFRICOM. AFRICOM, in this video right here that I showed you, the one before this, it talks about Europe. And this is AFRICOM, which I show in this video. Right here I show you the king of the south, his kingdom, which is prince. The king of the south is strong, and one of his princes shall be strong above him, and his dominion shall be great dominion, and at the end years join together the king of the daughter of the south, right there, come. But it will be broken into pieces, as I said. He shall deal against them and shall prevail. That's he's talking about. He's talking about Russia, the king of the north. I showed you the map of Kenya right here, and there's Ethiopia. It talks about Libya. This is the continent of Africa. The king of the south shall come into his kingdom and shall return to his own land. This land is Kenya. He will come there with great riches. He's coming there with all the spoils from the United States. the best equipment. It says right here, it says, but his son, he shall assemble a multitude of great forces, and one shall certainly come and overflow and pass through, and shall return and stir up even the fortress, the king of the... So, like I said, this is when he returns with all of our military equipment to Kenya and come against Israel. Out of a branch of a root shall one stand up, and his estate come with an army, and shall enter into the fortress of the king of the north, and deal against him, and shall prevail. It's exactly what it says in the Bible about the king, the Antichrist will take out 3 kingdoms, and it says he will prevail. So the Babylon's destroyed first by Russia. Out of the north, we are destroyed. But after this happens, then the king of the south, he shall prevail, which he'll take out Russia, which I showed you right here. They're assembling it right here. Great army and riches. This is what they're doing right now. He will magnify himself. This is the Antichrist. It's confirmed in 1 Thessalonians right here. He will exalt himself above all and call himself God and worship. This is exactly the same thing it talks about the Antichrist right here. Exalt himself, magnify himself. This is exactly what it's talked about in 2 Thessalonians about the Antichrist. Right there. I showed you Ethiopia shall be at his steps. There he is. Now I'll get rid of one of these and I'll show you it does talk about the temple in Daniel 11. So there's no doubt, like I said, I had a video on this a while ago. This just shows it. Talks about the great army right there. King of the north, king of the south. Daniel, that's what it talks about. The king of the south and king of the north. Right here it talks about the temple. He shall plant the tabernacle in the palace between the seas and the glorious holy mountain. He shall come to his end, and none shall help him. So there you go. That's the battle. That's you know. So there you go. Like I said, this is the first part of my video. I was going to put this in at the end. I figured I'll put it in at the beginning. And like I said, AFRICOM was set up by Obama, and that's why they are talking about it here. It's not talking about the Pentagon. These are the two, the Army of Europe and Africa. They're pretty much saying here that the United States is done. They're taking out all of our troops. They're using all the equipment. And the stuff they left in Libya is going to end up, not Libya, but Afghanistan. This is what's the battle of, the final battle. This is the Antichrist. God bless. I'm going to end it here. It's a pretty long video. How you doing? This video is about the King of the South. He's all ready. He's ready to go. Here's the date. King of the South. Everything's all set. As I've been saying, they're moving this equipment out of the United States, and they are moving it. They are moving out of the United States because the Antichrist, the king of the South, is going to go against the king of the North. The king of the North is Russia. Putin is the king of the North. The king of the South, he returns to his own land. Daniel chapter 11, I've been saying this. So, this proves it right here, what I've been saying all along. I made videos about this about a year ago. He returns to his own land. And it's all set up because it's all set up, and I will go over it.
Denmark en route to Poland.
All this equipment is being shipped out of the United States for the Antichrist to use with NATO against the King of the North. After Russia takes out the United States, the Antichrist is going to rise like the hero and take out Russia. They are pointing Russia as being bad, and this is all planned, and it's been planned. The King of the South, he takes out 3 kings who can make war against him. This is what's going to happen. And we're very close. This is putting stuff right on Russia's doorstep. I talked about this in my other video about they put it's ready to go down.
The army soon is likely to have 3 armored brigades in Europe for the first time in well over a decade, as one unit begins arriving while another has its 9-month tour extended in the wake of Russia's war on Ukraine. Weaponry belonging to the 3rd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 4th Infantry Division out of Fort Carson, Colo, will be offloaded at ports in Denmark, Greece, and the Netherlands, and soldiers have arrived this month, U.S. Army Europe and Africa said.
Who's calling the shots? Who's calling the shots here for America? What does it say? Not the Pentagon. It says they have arrived this month in Europe, and Army, Europe, and Africa said. Why does it say Africa? There's a good reason why it says Africa. Because that's where the Antichrist is going to be out of, and that's where everything's set up right now. They're getting statements from Africa and Europe, not the United States, not the Pentagon. In the past, it would always come out of the Pentagon, but it's not. It's coming out of Africa and Europe, it says. But it's coming out of Africa.
And soldiers have arrived this month, U.S. Army Europe and Africa said in a...
There you go. Well, after Babylon's destroyed the United States, the Antichrist comes out of his base is going to be in Africa. Right here. After the United Nations in America's destroyed New York City, it's going to go to Kenya. They have a United Nations headquarters in Kenya. And this is where everything's going to be. This is where the King of the South is going to. He returns to his own land. And it's quite obvious from this video it's already taken place. The King of the South is already. They're already calling the shots. Not the Pentagon. Not the United States. Says Europe and Africa. Who heads up AFRICOM? Thomas, this guy right here. Who appointed him? He was nominated by Obama. Right here. He appointed him in 2016. Here's his Facebook page. He's in Africa right now. He hasn't been in Africa. This is April 10th. He hasn't been in Africa. He was actually in Germany. That's where their headquarters was, but now he's in Africa. He just went there. So let's go to the Bible. What does the Bible say? He shall have powers and treasures and gold and silver and over all precious things of Egypt, Libya, and Ethiopia's. Well, I'm going to set up because I had a tab up here and I don't know where it's at. But I'm going to set up for it and I'll bring it back. Sorry about that. As you can see, Kenya's right here. These are the AFRICOM bases right here. Here's all the AFRICOM bases right here. This is where all of our bases are in Africa. We are dominate. AFRICOM is the military in Africa. There's Kenya right there. It says Ethiopia right there. It says Ethiopia. Precious things of Ethiopia right there. Libya and Egypt. This is Daniel 11. The king of the south. There's Kenya. There's Ethiopia. There's Libya and Egypt right there. There's one of their bases right there. Right there it says Ethiopia, Libya. So this is on the continent of Africa. He returns to his own land. The king of the south shall come into his kingdom and shall return to his own land. Obama's from Kenya. It just happens to be this is all planned. This is the United States. This is the United Nations headquarters. This is the command. This is AFRICOM. This is in Africa. Africa Command. Here's Kenya, the world headquarters for the United Nations. United Nations headquarters, which there's only 3 headquarters. And one of them is Kenya, go figure. The other one's in Switzerland, I believe. The other one's in New York City, but New York City will be gone. So it's kind of ironic that there's 3 headquarters. And in this video right here, they say Army Europe and Africa, which are the other 2 United Nations headquarters. They're not talking about the United States. This just shows you how close we are. And I've shown this before about Daniel chapter 11. He shall return to his own land, his kingdom. He will return to his own land with riches. Talks about Egypt right there. He shall carry captive into Egypt their gods. Princes deal against them and prevail. This is after we leave. So we're right at the door. Right at the door, the king of the south is returning to his own land. Talks about this right here. This is the continent that the king of the south returns to, which is Africa, right there. So this is all ready to go down. Like I said, I saw this video right here, and this just shows how close we are. That the command centers in Europe, which is the U.S. command, it's in Europe and in Africa. But after Babylon falls, everything's going to go right across the continent, right from America. What they haven't taken already is going right to Africa, as it says right here in Daniel chapter 11. So for a review, the commander right here, he was appointed by AFRICOM by Obama. Here's his Facebook page. He went to Africa just recently. He's there right now calling the shots. He was appointed by Obama in 2016. Daniel 11:9. The king of the south shall return unto his kingdom, and shall return to his own land, which is Kenya. All of his relatives. It says he doesn't worship the God of his fathers in Daniel 11. All Obama's relatives are in Kenya. Talks about the continent here, that he's on the doorstep. He will come against Israel from the south. Here's the world headquarters in Kenya. Here's the video right here that I just played. This was just today. Here's the AFRICOM bases, as I showed right here. This is all of our military in Africa. As you can see, the king of the south comes from the south towards Israel this way. So I wanted to have a short video. God bless. Hope you're all doing well. All of this out by the morning. We are very close. And the United States is really over. So God bless. And hope you're all doing well.